Hello everybody, welcome back to my little world. My name is Allie and I am here to react to Aerosmith. I am so excited. I grew up listening to classic rock with my dad. I would say I know a little bit of the basics, maybe a little more than the basics. I have been fiending to dive into a classic rock album on here because that is probably my all-time favorite genre right next to pop music. I drew this album in my Zara Larson reaction video because I have this big jar of a bunch of albums and I drew Rocks by Aerosmith. So today we're doing their 1976 fourth studio album, Rocks. This was on the Rolling Stones top 500 albums of all time. Let's do a quick history lesson. Who is Aerosmith? Steven Tyler, Tom Hamilton, Joey Kramer, Joe Perry, and Brad Whitford. Okay, now, obviously, I know who Aerosmith is. Obviously, I know their popular hits, Walk This Way, Sweet Emotion, Don't Want to Miss a Thing, Dream On, and then Dude Looks Like a Lady from Mrs. Doubtfire. If you know, you know. Aerosmith is kind of the blueprint in a way, and we can't lose ancient texts like that. You know what I'm saying? The members of the band reportedly spent afternoons getting high and watching Three Stooges reruns. One day they had a post-Stooges meeting to try and come up with a name. Kramer said that when he was in school, he would write the word Aerosmith all over his books. The name had popped into his head after listening to Harry Nilsson's album Aerial Ballet, which featured art of a circus performer jumping out of a biplane. And they signed their first record deal, I believe, in 1972 with Columbia Records. And that is where they put out their first debut album, Aerosmith, in 1973. So that's kind of their background. For their fourth album, they really just wanted to go back to the basics of hard rock and keep it as raw as they possibly could. Apparently during this album, they were definitely living the rock and roll lifestyle. A lot of them were on drugs. I mean, it was the 70s. Rocks is considered by many fans, critics, and fellow musicians to be one of the highlights of their career. Guitarist Joe Perry called, "There's no doubt we were doing a lot of drugs back then, but whatever we were doing, it was still working for us." I mean, yes. Their other guitarist, Brad Whitford, states that the band began to work on this album while they were living the high life and not paying attention to anything except making this record. This was considered a very big album for Aerosmith because it really was just there to show people how loud and hard they were, how unapologetic they really felt about who they were as a band and an artist. They recorded this record in a warehouse in a very suburban Massachusetts. But it says the band christened the building big enough for them to park their flashy new cars in. They hung drapes from the high ceiling to improve acoustics and ambiance and adorned the walls with heroes. A huge montage of Mick and Keith images alongside Chuck Berry, Rod Stewart, and more. It also provided a launch pad for up-and-coming local band Boston. Okay, this is really cool. It says many musicians have cited Rocks as their favorite. Rocks was one of Kurt Cobain's favorite albums as he listed in his journals. Motley Crue singer and bassist Nikki Sixx refers to Aerosmith frequently in his book The Heroin Diaries. Metallica lead singer James Hetfield has identified Rocks as well as Aerosmith as important influences in his music, stating that the band was the reason he wanted to learn guitar. Finally, Slash says Rocks was the album that inspired him to learn guitar and that the album changed his life. A woman that Slash was crushing on showed him the Rocks album. In his autobiography, Rocks, Joe Perry states that the driving purpose of Rocks was to redefine us as America's ultimate garage band. The cover showed 5 diamonds, one for each of us. We saw that record as a jewel, the culmination of all of our angst and anger and excitement and joy as Go for Broke rock and rollers. Fourth studio album, Rocks, Let's Boogie. We have 9 songs, so let's just dive into the first track. Track number 1, Back in the Saddle. Already, the ad-lib. Y'all know I love the details in music, and you already have the horse neighing, the stirrups, or the like boots on the ground, or whatever the jangle that was. Keep it coming. Like, that's so high. That guitar. Do you understand how hard that is as a male, especially, to hit? And it's like he's also using that vocal technique where he's like raspy. So it's like, whoa. That's so high. Guitar! Hold on now, don't get too ahead of yourself. Wow, what a start. I'm bad! Like, woo! That was so fun. So creative. It was like a whole movie in the background. Completely had me kind of mesmerized. Aerosmith has opened up this world and this universe that they are creating already with just this one song, with all of those tiny details, the fighting ad-libs in the back where he's like, the horse galloping. I'm sure there's more I can't even point out first listen. So they used coconut shells as horse hooves, a whip effect produced by Tyler whirling a guitar cord overhead close to strategically placed mics, and multi-tracked foot stomps for which he wore an old pair of boots he had in high school, boosted by a tambourine taped to them. Okay, producer Jack Douglas talked with the songwriter Steven Tyler about using the phrase "back in the saddle" as a way of saying the band was back with a hard rocking new album. An excellent way to start this album, I gotta say. Next track, we have track number 2, Last Child. Okay, like, the vocals, I'm sorry, like, I'm always gonna have to say something about the vocals because I'm a vocal queen, meaning that's something that, like, just itches my brain. I'm so fascinated by vocals and vocal production. Steven Tyler's vocals, one of the top male vocals, potentially of all time. Like, he's definitely up there. Okay. Do me when I say, like, try that right now. Get out! Like, get out! Get out! Like, what the I don't think y'all understand. I don't think y'all get it. No, y'all get it. Obviously, y'all get it because y'all are watching this. But, like, they don't get it. They don't get it. Who's they? I don't know, but they don't get it. I don't know what it's called. I need to get better with my music vocabulary. I don't know if it's the melody, the rhythm, the beat, where it's like the cadence. Either I'm like, I don't know what it is, but it's like the way that he's saying the lyrics into the melody. Like he's saying a whole sentence, ain't no good when boss man's stuffing it down their throats with paper notes. That's the line, but he says it in he says it in a way that's like it's a continuation of the sentence, but the melody like already started over, if that makes sense. Kind of reminds me of Taylor Swift's Maroon, where she's like, the burgundy on my t-shirt when you splash your wine into me, and how the blood rushed into my cheeks so scarlet, it was maroon. This is like, ain't no good when the boss man's stuffing it down their throats with paper notes and babies cry while cities light their feet. Like, I really like that. It's really catchy. It's a little similar to Prince in the way Prince sings in some of his, when he's like his like little squeakiness, raspy, theatrical aesthetic in his vocals that Prince does too. And that's what we're missing, honestly. In today's day and age, where are the theatrics? Where are the men giving us a show? The women have been running the game for a while, and while they should still run the game, the men need to step it up. See, that's what I fucking love about old albums. When the song just automatically bleeds into the next one. Pink Floyd, Dark Side of the Moon, how you can play that from front to back. Now you have streaming in the age of like TikTok music and Gen Z, brain mush. There was a less of a focus for a while there on like the cohesiveness of an album. Next track we have Rats in the Cellar. This one I'm really excited to listen to. Damn. Whoa. I mean, bitches don't do instrumentals like that anymore. And they need to. I mean, that is such a classic fast rock song. Like fast hard rock song. Steven Tyler said in his book, Does This Noise in My Head Bother You?, that he wrote this song as a salutation / answer to Toys in the Attic. But according to him, Rats was more according to what was happening at the time. Things were falling apart chaotically, they were careless, and sanity was fading away. They were on a lot of drugs at the time, so I can see why. I mean, just that final, like... It's actually kind of a sad song when you read the lyrics and think about that they were on so many drugs at the time and like they were kind of going a little crazy, I guess, mentally. I mean, obviously, if you're on that amount, like if you're on any drug, you're gonna not really be, you know. This song would be beautiful, slowed down into a beautiful ballad, you know? A beautiful ballad. Ray can sing it or something. New York City. Lana Del Rey, you know, that kind of vibe. I really like the lyrics. They are always gonna make you think. The line where he says, losing my connection, Tyler was referring to a dealer who supplied top heroin to Perry until the dealer was killed in nefarious circumstances.
This is crazy.
Okay, next track we have track number 4, Combination. I really like that harmony with those voices. I love that line. I took the shot and called it gin. Well, yes, they need to make that like on a shirt. It's giving you miss 100% of the shots you don't take. And then the back of the shirt's like, well, I took a shot and I called it gin. Aerosmith was a label hoe. And that's iconic. Like, that's iconic. Because you think about how so many people are like, where am I Gucci? There is a spider on my window. Aerosmith was doing that back in 1976. So... Whoa, that was beautiful. This song, which was penned entirely by lead guitarist Joe Perry, was the first that saw him share lead vocal duties with Steven Tyler. That is sick. These lyrics are like kind of sad, y'all. That one was also like a fast rock hard song. Next track, we have track number 5, Sick as a Dog. And this is our halfway mark. Post Malone's voice kind of reminds me of these vocals, 1, and 2, I can really see Guns N' Roses inspiration with this song. Yes. That was great. Loved that introduction, and I loved the kind of breakdown where it goes kind of back to how the introduction sounded. Sick as a Dog features a coda section where the rest of the band besides Joe Perry drops out before coming back in altogether. This was done mechanically as well as musically, as the song was recorded in one take, and when the coda begins, bassist Tom Hamilton hands his bass off to Steven Tyler and plays rhythm guitar for the rest of the song. Tom Hamilton. Everybody give it up for Tom Hamilton. That is so cool. And those drums, man. Joey Kramer. Insane. Next track, we have track number 6, Nobody's Fault. The more I'm listening, the more I'm like, damn, Guns N' Roses really was reheating their nachos. They are OGs. And then this kind of vocal reminds me of Nirvana. That's so, like, this is why we have to do our homework, guys, because I never would have thought that, like, Nirvana, Guns N' Roses got their inspo from Aerosmith. I feel like I'm part of the knowing now, you know? I like this one a lot. Wow. Fuck off. I love that. No. Don't end. Don't end. Well, damn. That might be one of my favorites. Why was that so good? Man has known, and now he's blown it. We did an awful job, and now they'll say it's nobody's fault. It says this song is inspired by all the earthquakes Tyler saw on the news in the 70s, particularly the one in the San Fernando Valley in 71 and another in Nicaragua in 72. Nobody's Fault has never been the most popular Aerosmith song, but its quality has been noted by many, including Steven Tyler himself, who has called it one of the highlights of his career. That's what I was going to say. I was like, why was this song so good? Like, it has so many versatile components that he did in it. Guns N' Roses guitarist Slash, who has stated that it was rocks that inspired him to become a guitarist, lists Nobody's Fault as his favorite Aerosmith song of all time. Amusingly, in the song's quiet intro, you can hear a door open. Steven Tyler has noted that it was somebody coming into the studio to hear the band's recording process, and that he and Joe Perry looked at each other and grimaced when the door creaked open, but that the take ended up being the best one, and so the door remains as a creaky Easter egg on the LP. Damn, like, oh, that was good. I gotta listen to it again. Shh. Get a load of that guy. We did an awful job, and like he does that same kind of thing with the lyrics where he's like where the melody repeats, but he's still saying a sentence. Someone out there is gonna know what I'm trying to say, and they're gonna be like, yes, and I'm gonna be like, yes, and we're gonna be like, yes, and it's gonna be two dumb bitches being like, exactly. Next track, we have track number 7, Get the Letter Out. Yes. What does this remind me of? That Led Zeppelin song, right? Yeah. That was so good. When you think of 70s rock, it's that kind of grooviness aspect that almost has a little like funk groovy influence, where it's like that really groovy bass line. Next track, we have track number 8, Lick and Promise. Second to last. It gives Post Malone. Lick and a promise. The lyrics really just give like the rock star lifestyle vibe. And that's kind of cool because it's kind of a peek behind the curtain. Steven Tyler says that this is such a snapshot of us in those days, a clear moment in time for me. The song was meant to sound like Aerosmith was playing live, and there's a part in the final third where listeners can hear a crowd calling for more. In reality, there were just 6 people in the studio, including drug dealers and assistants making the crowd sound. Douglas recorded them and doubled it, then repeated that and boosted it until the recording came to resemble an area full of fans. Very last track, Home Tonight. Go. goodness. That was such a good outro song. Like, the intro and the outro to this album, pretty damn good if you ask me, and I think all bitches should take notes. Stylistically, like nothing else on Rock's, Home Tonight repeated the Toys in the Attic formula of closing things out with a ballad. Aerosmith had high hopes for the track, which grew out of turn by Tyler at the piano. And Steven Tyler, I mean, his vocals, we're always gonna love Steven Tyler's vocals. When you really listen to the lyrics in this album, it's kind of dark, like they're kind of sad. Depressing tones, the darker side of that success and exposure and culture that surrounds the 70s rock scene. But the music is very heavy, rock and raw. Steven musically has so much knowledge, said Hamilton. Not schoolbook knowledge, just built-in knowledge from growing up with his father and being a classic pianist. Joe Perry says, I have a theory that with any kind of art you go through phases. Periods of creativity, then periods where you have to work at it. Sometimes you just wake up and explode, others you have to make yourself do it. There's an ebb and a flow, especially in a band where not everyone is going to be in the same place at the same time. In the 70s, when we were learning how to be recording artists, Rocks was arguably the peak, when everybody was firing on all cylinders. That is why it worked so well. And yeah, I can see that. Rocks. Like cocaine rocks. What a crazy peek behind the curtain of that rock era. So let's go into my favorites. What did I love? Back in the Saddle, Rats in the Cellar, Combination, Sick as a Dog, Nobody's Fault, Get the Let Out, and Home Tonight. Those are my 7 faves that I liked first listen. This album was so fun. I can't wait to go listen to it in the car. Like, the car test is the ultimate test. On the highway, windows down, feeling like a bad bitch, sunglasses on, going to do my errands, loving life, rocking out. But like, they are the blueprint. That's the thing. Like, Aerosmith was the blueprint. Who inspired Aerosmith? The Rolling Stones, Led Zeppelin, and the Yardbirds. Oh my gosh, all things lead back to Aerosmith, and then before that, all things lead back to Led Zeppelin. Let's be for real. Well, thank you guys so much for rocking out with me. You guys have been showing me so much love on my YouTube, and I love growing this little community. So let me know what else you guys want to see from me, other albums that you think I would enjoy. I have the Spotify playlist below of all the albums in my little jar for my draw. I switch off between a current album or an album from the jar. Since I drew for this one, for my next video, I am going to do, so I cannot wait. And I'm gonna do a girl too, since I just did an all boy rock band. So we're gonna switch it up. We're getting versatile. I hope you guys stay safe out there, and I will see you in the next one. Bye guys.